All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 305 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am BF Baller, and over here we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. It's been a pretty good weekend. Got to go out of town, went to go see some family members. I got to go see some friends, and everything is was pretty cool. Cannot complain at all. Didn't do everything I wanted to do. We usually do that when we go out of town. There's so much that we want to do, some things that we're not able to do or accomplish, but it's all good. We went out, had fun despite the all the gas prices and stuff. Made it back in one piece, and for the most part, that's all you can ask for. So that's pretty cool. So today we're going to talk about some strength and conditioning because I've gotten some information and most of the information is readily available if you've really been following Georgia Southern. That look, these guys are transforming over there. These football players are doing transforming into something that they were they weren't bad looking, but the way they look now, man, look, these kids are beefing up, and I got some pictures I want to show you guys. And also is all thanks to the head strength and conditioning coach, Robert Stiner. Haven't talked about him much, but I really want to. We're going to talk about him very shortly. But first, we all know throughout the weekend something else happened for the Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan contract has been restructured. We're going to talk about that very briefly as well. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Over here, this is the First and Frame Rate Show. We talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football and everything under that umbrella. And if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, you can listen on the audio streaming platform of your choice, going all the way from Apple to Stitcher and Anchor and Spotify, Google, everything under that umbrella. You can find me there. Also, if you want to support the show, all the links are in the description where you can donate. So if you find it in your heart to do so, there it is right there. But the fact that you're just listening, it's all good either way. So I really appreciate all the support. Let's go ahead and get into this. First and foremost, Matt Ryan's contract has been restructured. That gives the Atlanta Falcons, $12 million more in cap money. And so right now, Terry Fontenot and them are basically doing what the Saints have done. And Terry Fontenot was the assistant general manager in New Orleans. So if you know anything about what the Falcons have, the Saints have been doing for the past, let's say 8-9 years, if you know anything about that, this is basically the route that we are going in Atlanta. Is this a bad thing? I will say this. The Saints have been incredibly competitive throughout this entire time since Drew Brees came to New Orleans. They had a few 7-9 seasons, but for the most part, they've been pretty competitive. So with that being said, it doesn't bother me too much. I am not a fan of restructuring because I know kicking the can down the road does not bode well in the long run. But hey, I am not the guy that's in front office, so I'm going to roll with it. I think it's going to be okay at the end of the day because, like I said, Terry Fontenot has extremely, he has extreme information and extreme, I want to say experience. That's what I'm looking for. He has a lot of experience as far as doing this. So I'm not saying that he doesn't know what he's doing. Apparently they know what's going on. So the salary cap here is lower because of Matt Ryan's restructure. I think it went down from 48. I think it went down to down to 36. His new base salary is 8.75, and for the most part, like I said, they get a new cap line, which is I think now is at 16 million. So they're going to be able to get some people to come to the Falcons now. You're going to have some other people that's going to probably end up getting cut. So I expect. I'm guessing that the Falcons will probably end up having about 20 maybe $22 million in cap space by the time they really start making some moves. And you clearly can't knock that. I mean, based on what we had last year, I mean, we had to get rid of one player just to sign our draft class. Now, we could sign a few players in our draft class. Now we got 12 million right now, and it's probably going to, increase. We got 16 million now, and it's probably going to increase by another 5 to 6 million, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't know, but I'm just guessing. Because I really feel like they're going to get rid of a few more people, so we'll see how that goes. So, excuse me. So we'll see how that goes as far as the Falcons in the next few weeks. So that's pretty neat. So want to get off of that, and let's get into what I really want to talk about. What I really want to talk about is pretty neat. Do you see these guys right here? If you're watching on the screen, do you see these guys right here? If you see the little small picture right here, this is an older picture of Jalen White that I made. I didn't make it, but I talked about this picture back in the day. Probably about a year or so ago, probably before then, maybe about 8 months ago. I talked about this picture of Jalen White. Jalen White was already in the weight room getting it in, basically. And you can see right here, I will say in this picture he kind of fell off a little bit, and I don't think it's any of his fault, and I'm going to talk about that as well. But if you look at this first picture and you look at the second picture, he kind of fell off, and like I said, it's not his fault because the strength and conditioning, it has not been good last year. Somebody came to me and asked me why these kids continuously getting injured, what the case may be, what is going on with the strength and conditioning. And we had a lot of injuries last year. And that could have something to do with it. These guys, they're not bulky enough. They can't take some of these hits, some of these and a lot of these injuries happen. Now some of these injuries happen because joints, ligaments, or whatever the case may be, were extended, or whatever the case may be. You look at the Cam Ransom injury. You look at a couple of other these knee injuries that we had. I'm not an expert at this, but I do know that there's some correlation between strength and conditioning and getting hurt. I mean, you want to have yourself together when you're playing football, and it looks like this is what's going on. Look at this. Shout out to Robert Stiner. I want to talk about him for a minute because he has done wonders with these kids. So Robert Stiner, he been on the strength and conditioning staff at USC, LSU, Mississippi State, and he became Clay Helton, under Clay Helton's staff in 2021, late 2021, December, as a matter of fact. He was a director of sports performance with Clay Helton under USC as an assistant director and as an assistant after serving as an assistant director of football strength and conditioning in Notre Dame for 3 seasons. So he has a lot of experience. I mean, he was at Cincinnati. Like I said, he's been in Notre Dame for 3 years. He's also been strength and conditioning at Central Arkansas. He's been around and he knows what he's doing. Apparently, you look at Amari Jones here on the screen, you can see a difference instantly. And this is only, I think this was only in a few weeks. I think Jalen White, you can look at the instant results there. I mean, look, Jalen White needs to be, I know we have a lot of running backs. I know we do. And I know a lot of these running backs that we have going to bode well with this strength and conditioning. I mean, these only are just 2 pictures right here. But when you look at these other guys that can run the rock, I mean, we're going to have some guys who are actually got some, weight on them. They're going to have some strength on them. It's going to be, really good to see that these guys are actually beefing up and getting some weight under them. I mean, you look at, Amari Jones. Amari Jones could play pretty much any position. He's almost like he's basically like another version of, I mean, him and Najee Thompson are probably like almost like the same way. Amari Jones can play receiver, running back. He's actually played quarterback for us, receiver. I mean, he does a little bit of everything. And, no telling where they're going to put him at this year as far as positions. They can use him everywhere. I mean, Jalen White is a bona fide running back. I mean, if you watched any of his tape from high school to now, I mean, he's done great for us this past season. He was one of the shining moments of in our season. I mean, you look at him in the Arkansas State game. I mean, dude ran for over 100 yards and done very well for himself. I personally, he's my favorite running back on the team. I mean, it's not even close. And it's not a knock on everybody else because I do love everybody else, but I've been a big fan of Jalen White ever since he walked in the door from Alabama. So I don't know how this running game is going to play out, but for me, I feel that I would like to see him get the rock a lot more. I mean, we have a lot of running backs now, a lot. I mean, it is ridiculous. And I mean, you look, we got like at least, I feel like we got at least 7 running backs right now. I'm probably exaggerating, maybe 6 running backs, including Amari Jones, even though he's not a running back. And I'll say about 5 of them could be running back 1, RB1 somewhere. They're that good. I mean, but with Georgia Southern is changing things around as far as the offense, it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do. But I'm just looking at what Robert Stiner done. Phenomenal job. He's done a phenomenal job. I mean, you look at these pictures. I mean, if you're looking on the podcast side of things, I'm just going to tell you, like, Amari Jones basically beefed up, looked like he's gained like 15. I ain't gonna say 20 pounds, but it looked like he gained like 15 pounds of muscle like instantly. And I don't know how long it's been, but with Jalen White, same thing. Jalen White looked like a totally different person. This says on his weight, they say he gained 5 pounds, but this doesn't look like 5 pounds. And it started from January 1st. This is amazing. January 1st, 2022, it was the first picture, and it goes on basically, 7 weeks. It says 8 weeks, but in 8 weeks, he jumped from 205 to 210, and it just looks, it looks astounding. It looks like he's gained much more weight. I know he's probably leaning forward, so it kind of looks like he's more defined than just him standing up, but he looks like a different person. And it's amazing what Robert Stiner is doing. I'm really interested to see what the rest of the guys look like. I would like to see what a Gerald Green will look like, because Gerald Green is a really good running back, but he has like he's one of the smaller running backs, but I mean the kid is like fast. I mean, he's like super duper fast. So I would like to see how he is shaped up. A couple of other guys I would like to see as well. Definitely I want to see what Cam Ransom looks like. I mean, Cam Ransom was already cut. I mean, he was already cut. I mean, at 6'3", he was like 6'3", 219, 6'3", 220. He was already there, but I can imagine what he looks like now. You know what I mean? Durham Burgess is another one I would like to see. JJ McCaffrey, I think he's still on the team. I would like to see what he looks like. Sean Pelkisson, absolutely. I would love to see what Sean Pelkisson looks like. I mean, I always said it backwards. Sean Pelkisson was already one of those guys that he's already built for the weight room. He was built for the weight room. He just needed the right person to put him in the right position. And I'm like, look, Robert Steiner's that guy. Robert Steiner's that guy. And this is going to be really, really, really cool to see, because like right around the corner, I mean, look, in what is, as the time of this show, I mean, 8 days. 8 days is the first practice for spring practice, the 22nd. So, I mean, football is back, people, and we're starting to see we're starting to see some good things right now. Football is back, and you looking at these guys already, out there, these guys are already cut up and ready to go. I'm pretty sure they're ready to get back on the field and do some things that, they already been, doing they already been training or whatever the case may be, obviously. And, in 8 days, they're going to be doing some practice. And, next month on the 23rd, I want to say the 23rd. I keep forgetting that. 23rd, the spring game. And I'm definitely going to be there for that. I'm going down there for that. So if you guys are going to be, in the Statesboro area, I definitely will be at that game for the spring game. I want to see what these guys are made of. I want to see the transition. I want to see what these guys have been taught and what they have obtained in their knowledge as far as football and applying it on the field. Because I think Coach Helton is I think Coach Helton has done a phenomenal job. You see guys like Najee Thompson, and that could be used anywhere. Or you can see guys like Cam Ransom, Jalen White, Amari Jones. I mean, the list goes on and on. You can look at these guys who are hungry, that wanted to win games last year, and was basically handcuffed because of a lot of factors that happened. And there's no love lost anymore. I can say this now. It's not like I never, felt any, ill will towards Gavin Adcock. I mean, he was just living his life. Unfortunately, he was just living his life. Unfortunately, it came back to bite the Georgia Southern Eagles. And it's certain things you can and can't do, and it's a lesson learned. You look back on it now, Gavin Adcock has moved on with his life, and that, I don't think that was the deciding factor, but it did not help matters. And shout out to Coach Chad Lunsford. He's down at FAU right now, and he's moved on. And I think at the point that I think all of us, or most of us in Eagle Nation, have moved on as well when we're looking at this whole situation. And we're excited to see what we see now. I mean, you got guys like, this whole coaching staff, Robert Stiner, and Ryan Applin, and Ellis and Harris and all these other people that are here now. Looking back on it now, that it was a messed up situation, but the future is bright now, and it's good to see these kids having some good leadership. And I'm not saying the leadership last year wasn't good. I mean, it could have, as far as I'm concerned, I think the leadership was good. I think it was excellent as far as, leading young boys to be men. I agree with that. I don't have a problem with that as far as the leadership there. But as far as football, X's and O's, I mean, they dropped the ball big time. I mean, it was cool for the Camellia Bowl and the RL Carrier Bowl. I mean, you can't knock the results because the results are great. But I will say this forever. I think those boys won those games despite the handicap of the last coaching staff. Those guys were just that talented. I mean, there's nobody can tell me that there was some game plan out there. And I know, and I wonder if I'm wrong, please let me know. I don't think there was some game plan out there to say, hey, this game plan is going to beat this team. No, we went right at them. We ran the ball and said, you can't stop us. And if you try to stop us, we're going to try to throw the ball over the top. There was no I think the only time a game plan was really put in place was the UMass game. That was one of the few games that I actually saw where we drove the ball downfield and it looked like a game plan was, or the drives on that game, in that game would look like we were actually game planning to play against UMass. We mix it up with run and pass. Shout out to Captain Clack. You can go back and watch that game on YouTube. The UMass game when Shy Wertz actually looked like he was a dual threat quarterback. And I'm not saying he doesn't look like a he never looked like a dual threat quarterback at Georgia Southern, but you could tell that the way the game plan was set, it looked like he wanted to run and throw the ball much more, and they set him up to do so. So, now you look at the transition now. I mean, from what I've seen ever since, Clay Helton stepped on the scene in November, you can see that this football program is going to be led by guys who know X's and O's. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Ruse and Sloan and them. I mean, I think Scott Sloan was amazing at defense. We did great on defense. I'm not saying that they know X's and O's, but I believe that the offense in general was just outdated. I think it was just an outdated offense. We need to move up to the modern times. And I know some people don't like to hear that because some people still want to run the triple option, but there's no way you can run the triple option with all this talent. Not now. You have to have a specific type of athlete to do so, and these athletes here are ready to run a pro style offense. And I think Clay Helton is ready, more than willing to do so with the transfers that came in, the guys on defense that are here, the receivers that we recruited. I mean, we already had the running backs. The running back was never the issue, but I think we're going to be looking very different starting the next few weeks. I'm here for it. I can't wait. Shout out to Robert Stiner, head strength and conditioning coach. You look at what these kids are doing. If you look at this on the screen, they look great. They look really good. And the transition from Jalen White from where he was, and to me, like I said, he bounced back really good based on these 3 pitches. Amari Jones, I mean, man, Amari Jones looks great. He looks great. And this all shout out to what these guys are doing in the weight room. And not only that, the nutritionists and everything else. Sorry, I forgot that person, whoever's the nutritionist, but they're doing a great job. Phenomenal job. Can't ask for more than that. Can't wait to see what happens from there. Shout out to Matt Ryan for restructuring his contract, helping the team once again. And we're going to see how that plays out as far as the Falcons and free agency. Shout out to Georgia Southern Eagles, Amari Jones and Jalen White for putting this information out there. They look really good as far as before and after. And last but not least, definitely Robert Stiner. Thank you, sir, for getting these kids in order and getting these guys ready to play some football. You can't ask for more than this. I mean, this is great. Just once again, Georgia Southern is showing the transition of coaches is in the results early, and it needs to show better results on the field. Can't wait to see that. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you guys on the next one. You guys be easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.